kids. I can relate. Sometimes you need that quiet.
Yep.
Okay, we're live.
Thank you. All right, welcome to the City Advertising and Promotion Commission meeting. It's February 26, 6 p.m., Eureka Springs Auditorium, 2025. Welcome, everyone. We'll have a roll call. That's you.
Let's do roll call. David Anvenzino.
Here.
Bradley Tate Green.
Present.
Steve Hollerfield.
Here.
Shira Faust.
Present.
Robert Schmidt.
Here.
Heather Wilson here. And Colin is out with notification in advance.
Collins absent with notice. All righty. Agenda updates. Commissioners may add to the agenda with a motion, second, and vote. Anybody have anything they want to add to the agenda or take away from the agenda? Okay.
I have two topics. I'd like to make a motion to briefly discuss the shuttles. Unless that's part of Mike's report, and we can discuss it then. But the shuttles that were provided during the concert last weekend.
Okay.
Transit.
Is that new business?
New business.
Shuttles.
Shuttles.
You made a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. I like to add to the agenda chair term limits and to change the bylaws. And
I make a motion that we add chair term limits and change the bylaws.
Second.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anything else on the agenda? Approval of minutes. Do I have a motion to accept or approve the minutes for January 29th, 2025?
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, moving right along. Public comments. Has anybody signed up to do public comments? One person. Okay, no public comments. Financial report. Ty?
As of January 31st, there was, look at the first page of the balance sheet, there was $1,841,000 in the bank. Page 3 starts the P&L report. As of January, tax remittance was $110,000 with a budget of $108,000. Total income $123,000, matches budget. On page 2 of the P&L, total expenses $262,000, budget $257,000. Our net income for January was negative $139,000, with a planned budget negative $134,000. So we had a planned equity infusion of the $139,000 to bring it to zero. On the next page is the actual collections, 2023 compared to 24. As of the end of the year, there was about a $4,000 difference between 24 and 23, so we're pretty much on track. And then the last page is the past due collectors as requested, the detail. If anyone has any questions on that, feel free.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a comment about past dues. Ty and I have been working very hard on collections and process server in one instance, certified letters, telephone calls, et cetera, and it's starting to pay off. It's a slow process. So we are getting some of those way past dues back in and establishing some plans for those that have been way past due. So it is coming along, and we're watching it very carefully. So,
All righty. Anybody having questions? Anybody in the audience having questions about budget? All right,
Looks good, sir.
that's good.
I'll make a motion to approve financial report for January 31st, 2025.
I'll second that.
Bradley made the motion, Shara seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Financial reports are accepted. Advertising liaison report. Are you going to do that, Mike, or we're going to pass it this
Sure.
time? Okay.
Colin is absent today. He has an excused absence. I'm going to go ahead and take off in about 3 different directions here, and I'm not going to try to go ridiculously long. But first thing I do want to mention is the association, or the Arkansas Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus met Sunday in Bentonville. We're a member of that association, and we discussed at length House Bill 1445 to deregulate short-term rentals. We unanimously passed a motion to go ahead and let the legislature know that we were not in favor of the bill. We have a lobbyist, Jeffrey Hall, who works for the association. We pay him during legislative sessions, and he has conveyed that to senators and House guys down in Little Rock. As of this afternoon, there was no action on the bill yet. I did include for you the actual bill itself, the way it's printed out in the legislature. As we have gone a little deeper into the situation, because it is a critical bill if it is passed, it will certainly affect the way we do business in a lot of different ways. The Arkansas Municipal League opined a little bit to come up with a little bit of a compromise as a way to go ahead and maybe meter down some of the questions that were a little bit nebulous within the bill itself. The bill was written in a way that I think it was intended to be nebulous, and it would open the door to possible cities losing jurisdiction in a lot of different ways, and more importantly, losing the ability to go ahead and tax those entities. It's no surprise that this bill was probably established initially by Airbnb. But Mr. Wilkerson from the Municipal League did go ahead and opine on what the Municipal League feels is a reasonable compromise. Maybe not everybody feels the same way, but we'll see how it goes in the next couple of weeks, I'm sure. Any questions about HB 1445? Okay. We did come back from Governor's Conference over the past 3 days in Bentonville, and it was another dynamic opportunity for our staff to see the rest of the state. A lot of the people, the other A&Ps and CVBs around the state of Arkansas. It's always good to see old friends that you know, and also understand how the business of tourism is ever evolving and ever changing. We did learn quite a bit about some of the new things that are on the horizon for us, one of which is artificial intelligence. We're going to be doing possibly a couple of seminars on AI, inviting our collectors to come in and learn about it. We've got a gentleman over in Springdale at their CVB A&P that is willing to come over and help us, talk to us a little bit about it. Establishing a roadmap of how we go forward using AI to the best of our ability and how we integrate it into visiteurekasprings.com. It is really literally the wave of where we will be going, whether we like it or not. The question is we have to control it, and we just have to make sure that we understand that AI is a computer, it's not a person. Eureka Springs was privileged to be nominated as Tourist Organization of the Year. That's a great privilege, it really is. We were nominated along with Hot Springs and Bentonville, and we did not get it. It was given to Hot Springs basically because of that crazy eclipse. Had 46,000 people show up, so they won. But we'll go back and we'll try it again next year and see how it goes. It was a good event. One of the things that did come out is the opportunity to really open up the outdoors in a bigger way to the outdoor activities of mountain biking, particularly because it's such a huge industry. You know, we heard all about Bentonville as the mountain biking capital of the world, and we appreciate that. We're pretty darn close to being number 2. So we're going to be working very hard over the next year to make sure that we're opening up those avenues to bring that traffic in, and we'll talk a little bit about that in some of our analytics. Something that we're going to do, which is brand new, we're going to be launching an online toolbox for all collectors, or actually anybody that needs some of the CAPC branding materials like logos, any branding ideas, including free to be and so forth. There'll be some pretty stiff controls on this so that they can't be used in a wonky way or a way that's not going to be representative of what we do. But we're working with Madden to create that, and that way people will have better access, easier access to our online materials. In terms of the music world, we had a great concert last Friday night here in Eureka. 610 showed to see Marty Stewart and the Superlatives. It was a great concert despite the weather. We were all kind of worried about what was going to happen, but the people showed, and it was a good concert. Nearly sold out, upcoming this month, or February. Robert Earl Keen, I don't know, there may be a dozen seats left. That has really gone very well. Ricky Skaggs is going to be on the slate in April, and as we get into the Blues Weekend at the end of May, Indigenous and Monty Montgomery are going to be performing here at the Odd, and we're working with downtown to do a blues party, and we'll be doing those things at Center Street, Basin Spring Park, and obviously blues that's going to be around town. So it should be an interesting first 6 months, and we're really excited about some of the other bookings that I can't officially announce, but we're working on right now. I think you'll be pleased in the next couple of months to see the complete year rounded out. We're happy about that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go up to our first slide. I'm going to talk about our Spring 25 Free to Beat campaign and what we're doing, and the markets that we're going after right now, working in conjunction with Madden Media to identify these markets, which include Kansas City, Springfield, obviously, Joplin, Fort Smith, Little Rock, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and Dallas. Our growth markets, which are showing up strong and are trending, Houston, Shreveport, Wichita, St. Louis, and Chicago. Chicago is really coming in very strong for the state of Arkansas. So we think that it's a good place to be able to provide those niche products to those specific audiences up there. And we know that just because it's the third largest metro in the country, we're going to get a few of those people. Emerging markets that we're looking at, Sherman, Texas rather, Memphis, and Paducah, Kentucky. They're showing up on our web hits, and we think we're sending messages to them right now, and we're hoping that we can go ahead and further those along. Next slide, please. We're breaking our spring campaign down into 3 little segments right now, which is spring break, our general leisure campaign, and our core spring events, which we have a whole host of. And we'll be showing you some of the latest video here in just a second. We're pushing these ads on Meta, Google Prospecting, our Northwest Arkansas billboards, which have been really good for us, and YouTube with our outdoor and culture-free to be commercials. Next slide, please. This is the first of the long 60-second redo that you saw last month.
Imagine a place where you're free to wander through winding curves cut by sacred water, through history's memoir in brick and mortar, painted vibrant like the future, where you're free to seek pulsing inspiration in a drumbeat intrinsic, the rhythm that connects street to street and soul to soul, where you're free to feel from the enchanted flutter of a first falling to the softness of gold falling, to the exhilaration of free falling, where you're free to crave what is bold, beyond hunger for a satiated essence, a sweet or spicy authenticity, from tabletop to hilltop, dance floor to frame. What are you free to be?
And we'll roll it into the next couple. just a little bit of the magic. We have a lot of different cuts of these in 15s and 30s that we've been able to put together. And, they just are resoundingly good. We redid the audio track with another young lady over the past month, and she did a really nice job on it. I think it really worked out pretty well, so we're real pleased with those results. Our markets, we talked about those a moment ago, but some of the messaging that we're looking at right now, so you kind of get a sense of where Free to Be goes. These are things that we're saying in our online meta and our online SEO ads and our Near Me ads. Free to be spring break ready, free to be in bloom, free to be expressive, free to be excited, free to be vibrant, to be bold, to be adventurous, free to be, find your free. We got a lot of nice compliments about that over the past several days, and we felt good about that. So we feel like we're on a good path with this. Let's jump over to the next one. We are changing our influencer, at least around a little bit for the first half of the year. Last year, we brought in a Kansas City mom who did a great job for us, and some terrific content. But we thought, well, let's still go back to Kansas City. Let's go over to Oklahoma City and pull somebody out of there. And after we looked around quite a bit, we found, I think, the perfect person that will be coming into market shortly and doing an influencer campaign for us. We're kind of excited about that. I think she'll bring something a little different. Our springtime magazine, we don't do a lot of print, obviously, because it's so expensive, but will be an AY magazine, which, by the way, the editor of AY will be in Eureka Springs, June, I believe.
Yes.
And she'll be staying at one of our properties in town. She'll be doing a full-page ad for us in September in AY. 405 magazine is out of the Oklahoma City market. It's a great magazine, and it's one of those cultural magazines that's just good to be in. So we're kind of excited about that. I think we got another slide coming up here. I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that have done really well for us. One of the things that happened was that our SEM campaign is really good, but our SEO campaign beat it. And what's happened is the General Leisure SEM search engine marketing campaign achieved 21% O1, which beat the benchmark. But go to the next slide, if you will, please. Hello, hello. Hello, that's it. Well, I'll just tell you what it did then. If you can't see it, I'll tell you what it did. SEO overtook SEM in January 2025 as the leading channel. Search engine optimization has seen a 19% growth in traffic, and this is the first month that we actually got to see what Madden was doing for us, comparative Madden to comparative Madden a year ago. They're up 19% against themselves, so that meant that it was working quite well. So those things that we see on all those web pages out there that people go to, in those banner ads and all those little messages that go through are clicking and really hitting very, very well. So we're happy about that. Minneapolis, Minnesota, this is interesting, is starting to trend in our web hits. We wonder about that a little bit because, when it's zero here, it's 90 below zero in Minneapolis. So apparently they're looking at us going, let's find a warmer climate to come to. So we're seeing this drive market perhaps out of that market, but we're also thinking it may be a good market for mountain biking. And the same thing actually out of Colorado as well. Some of the PR content that was extremely good this past month, where to go in 2025, best places to travel on CNN Travel. 16 top things to do in Eureka Springs. There we go. U.S. News and World Report. Top romantic locations in the U.S. Mom Collective, my ghost hunting experience at a famously haunted hotel on her campus. Step back in time, 10 breathtaking historic hotels in the U.S. you can visit. In Smart Meetings, Arkansas, return to your natural state. Number 5, one-tank road trips from Kansas City from Road Trippers magazine. The most beautiful church in every state. How many of you visited? From Finance Buzz. And uncover the charm of these quaint Arkansas towns from Moms Who Think and meet the U.S.'s most surprisingly spiritual cities from Travel Awaits. So this is all good stuff. And again, the PR component that we put back into our 2025 program at Madden, I just did not want to make that change financially for it because it's so powerful for us. And I think it's one of the best investments that we, as an organization have been able to make in a long time. So Madness is superior at it, and they do a wonderful job. So with that, I'll open the floor for any questions. David.
Yeah, I want to, I don't quite know how to say this, so I'm going to word vomit. For decades, Eureka Springs has been known and received countless number of awards for our inclusiveness, our diversity, whether that be if you're a lesbian, bisexual, transgender, whatever. And I didn't see a lot of that represented in our commercials. It seemed very hetero-sex to me. And not that they can go back and fix these, but moving forward, I think we just owe it to our community to be able to provide something about our LGBTQ community in our commercials.
In some of the cuts we have, David, we have a pretty good collection, actually. And I don't know that this was probably the best example of all the diversity that we put into them, but we have several examples of, LGBTQ community activities and what goes on. So we're very, very mindful of that.
Okay, good.
And I think that when we come back around, we'll spin these things out again to you so that you can take a look and see, what the assets are that we have and how we approach those. The other thing that we did last year, and we'll do it again this year, is being part of a fairly significant nationwide newsletter that supports the LGBTQ community. We did that twice, and that was a fairly reasonable amount of spend, but I think the return on the investment was good because the open rate was very high. I think the open rate was like 65% or something, so it was good. So we know it's there, and we are certainly sensitive to that and always want to be mindful of that. So I appreciate your comments.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah.
The Mayor Butchberry gave a State of the City address on Monday night, talked about each commission, what's going on. He talked about how the CAPC fought off the attempt to do away with the commission and the tax, and how we overwhelmingly won that battle. But he did put up the numbers on collections. Even though the city, again, this year is up 4%, the CAPC collection is down and has been down 3 or 4 years, and he kind of showed that in the graph. And I don't mean to ambush you with this. If you don't know off the top of your head why, then we definitely can do it at the next meeting. But I just thought, could you address that? Do you know exactly why that is? Is it a national trend that people aren't staying in places? I guess shopping is up, but
Yeah, retail was significantly higher than it's ever been.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I said retail was significantly higher
Yeah.
than it's ever been, and of course they don't collect the tax.
So the city's doing good,
Sure.
but
I hadn't seen those numbers that he put together. That wasn't a chart that we produced for him. I don't know, and I don't have that for you. We came out of COVID, obviously. We're into, we went straight from COVID to politics, and we're in the midst of, what concern today is a recession potentially on the forefront. We don't know, and I can't make an assertion to suggest that we've got the magic.
one of our city council members did jump on these numbers.
Oh yeah.
So
For
if
sure.
we could address it at some point, if
Be
you
happy to.
research that and give us a report, maybe next meeting, it'd be
Yeah.
fine. If everybody's okay with that.
I just was going to say, as a business owner myself in lodging, that we've noticed in the last couple of years that they've been harder. I think we had such an outpouring of folks after the height of the pandemic when they could get out to travel, and that kind of inflated all of our numbers a whole lot. And then after that, when they were able to resume international travel and kind of a different dynamic of things they were able to do, it lessened some of the some of the numbers for all of us, and then with changes in pricing and things like that in politics, I do think
I would
that's
think those
affected.
shopping would be the same way, though. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but I do know that we saw less business in the last 2 years than we had before.
Robert?
Well, I kind of add to that. Lodging is down, yeah. I mean, that we noticed that. But I think it has to do with price increases. I mean, there's a lot of property they turned over to a different business model, like, being all of a sudden an Airbnb and paying or let's say there's one big place not far away from me, and I mean, that place was like $80, $90, and all of a sudden it's a Airbnb, and the rate is maybe 65, but you have fees and this and this and this, what they all add on, and all of a sudden a night becomes $180. And I think the pricing is one thing which make the cheap Eureka Springs, we had the image that it was very affordable to come to Eureka Springs, and I think that's a little bit gone. And those new business models, they didn't really help us to keep that standard or to keep the prices low. Plus then eating out has become very expensive as well. So the whole price increase, and that, if you look at the sales tax income, that explains that the city is still doing well. I mean, if you charge the same sales tax on a higher price, of course you make more. But if you go to the point of how many people actually stayed or how many people ate in a restaurant, those numbers must be down, clearly. So.
And I doubt there's an easy, clear-cut one answer to this. And maybe part of it is, as you've seen at the conference, more and more towns are stepping up wanting the piece of the tourism dollar. And they're doing more to try to attract people and stuff. And I would like to see, is that a trend statewide that all stays and hotels are going down, or is that just Eureka Springs?
Well, I think that we saw in the governor's conference, the state has indicated that they're doing okay, but they would like to see it do better. And their 10-year program, whatever that is, hasn't been completely spelled out, is to try to address, how can we go ahead and continue to bring people into Arkansas to, get the 2% tax. So I think that what we're seeing is it's an economic trend. We're going to have to kind of, row with the flow a little bit. We don't know politically how things are going to shape up all the way around, and that's going to be a big question too. Travel, endemic travel, I think, is still going to be strong because there are airlines out there trying to go ahead and make good deals. We don't know how much airline traffic we get, but we do get some. But ours is still the drive market. It's the 4 to 6 hour drive market. Right. And if it wasn't for Dallas-Fort Worth, we might not be seeing the numbers we have right now. So,
Heather?
Couple of clarification questions and a comment. I was having a conversation about restaurants the other day, and there's some Airbnb data I'll pull. I'm happy to email that demonstrates some towns have seen an up to 10% reduction in restaurant spends because people such as myself with medical food allergies, I forego renting hotel and I go to an Airbnb and I purchase or bring my own food that is safe for me. And with the current state of affairs in Eureka Springs with VRBOs or Verbos and Airbnbs, et cetera, I'm wondering if that number is influencing the spends in restaurants and in hotel lodging. So I will share that. I'm not saying that's the reason, but it has been in the back of my mind because as I think about our town and what I'm doing when I visit other towns, that's something that I'm thinking about. One of my clarifying questions, Ty, please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm looking at page 5 of 6 of the financial report, and in 2023, it says total $1,974,947 for total, and that's total remittance. For 2023. For 2024, it says $1,970,883. So that's less than a $4,000 delta, correct, year over year. We have several outstanding 2024 collections. So if those collections were in, we would actually have more sales tax remittance for 2024 than 2023. Is that correct? Okay, thank you.
Probably not a lot, but yes.
But still more. Thank you.
I would also point out, too, that I know prior to me becoming a commissioner, I pushed really hard for Madden Media. I think, Danielle, you reached out to me and asked me to write a statement. I can't remember, before I ever joined. And I've used Madden Media a lot throughout my career, and they have always performed very well And I think another thing that we can attribute to percentages down and numbers down from the mayor is you've got a stagnant marketing advertising company that's gotten comfortable and literally has been running the city however, because I felt like even when I moved here, their ads were generic. But you've got Madden, we're up 19% year over year, and literally they have done a fantastic job, and I think we will see a huge return on investment there. Because I know even after I came on board, I mean, collections probably could have been more last year because what was it, like 6 months we talked in one meeting that we were behind on trying to get Madden going, and then we ran into the unethical things that were happening. And I'm not going to lie, I pushed back and fought hard with David and Steve and Colin, and we fixed the CAPC. And you can see the growth, you can see the things that are happening now that we have fought hard for, and it's coming to fruition. So I feel like 2025 is going to be an amazing year for us. I really do.
I'd invite any city council member that wants to go over the numbers to actually show up to the meetings.
You have two of them here.
That's about to say. We have two here.
Anything else? Anybody? Are you done, Mike?
Sure. I could go on, but no, I don't want to.
There is no old business, new business, funding requests. I'm sure a lot of people out here are waiting for that.
Gravity feed is first.
Who did she say?
Which one?
Gravity feed.
Okay. Hello.
So, yep. Can you hear me?
You state your name, please.
My name is Nick Castro with the Gravity Feed.
Okay.
We have we revised the budget and are coming back for approval.
They came to us initially with a little bit of a confusing budget request, and we asked them to go back and take another look at it again, and we did. I went over it yesterday when I saw it first time, and then I went back and I actually had Nick come in this afternoon to the office, so we talked about what they're doing with it. What they're basically doing is they're buying social media. They are doing some production that's necessary, but they're going to be doing that production for the event as it goes and advertises the event out. And I don't know, there's a lot of moving parts to the Gravity Feed. I know that, so I don't know if there's a refresher that we need to go through or not. But we did look at those numbers again, and they seem to gel with at least our regulations. So.
I have a comment not related to this, just as we get into funding requests. Ty, thank you for giving us the market funding support. We have $69,000 left in the budget. It is February. We have on the funding request list only 39% of the event list. How many more of these are we expecting? Okay. I just want to be cognizant that it's February, there's 10 months left in the year, and we have 69 grand left.
Okay, I'm trying to find.
I have a question as well. On the funding support request, under proposed use of funds, you have website development. That's something we can't fund, correct?
We can for the event, yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yeah. What we cannot do is go ahead and sustain that and keep paying for it.
Okay, gotcha.
So it is pertinent to that event only. So.
Anybody have any questions?
I'll go ahead and I'll make a motion to approve the $5,000 for Gravity Feed LLC.
Second.
Nick, you're going to do the event in May, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
May 4th.
All right. And you basically work right now with Parks and Rec.
Yeah, we're contracted to do the shuttles at Leatherwood.
Okay, so you guys are the ones that take everybody back up to the hill, and
Yep, we run them up the hill and they ride down.
not too many people know that, but it's a great service, and it's something that, is certainly appreciated, so.
Thank you.
And also, I wanted to say, I'm Dennis. We're with a video production company. I've been riding Eureka Springs since I was a kid, since 2004, and been always riding here. Love the events and been filming here as well, so the nature is beautiful. We're looking forward to getting all the footage for Nick, and they can use it for promoting Lake Leatherwood and all the bike camping that's happening as well. That's important for us, because biking is not just riding a bike, it's also getting together with your friends, and Leatherwood's got awesome campgrounds, so we're kind of want to fuse the biking part and the camping, the fellowship of the community.
Absolutely. All right.
Robert?
Well, I just wanted to add real quick. I mean, this is a event. It's a new event, I would say. Huh? Like it says, like second year in existence. You're attracting estimated 200 lodging room nights. So it's still for the $5,000, just the 200 people or beds in return. It's an expensive promotion for CAPC, and I guess we have to watch this application a little bit closer for the future. In next year, I mean, you should create a better return, I think.
Yeah, we're hoping that this will kind of give us a jump start so we can prove concept and then make it bigger and include more activities and bring more and more people.
Right. I mean, we have other events. They draw 2,500 people, and they ask for $5,000. And I mean, for 200, 5,000, it's a little bit the bad ROI for us.
I think that, Robert, I agree with your point, and I think that one of the exceptions is the video that we will receive from this. The ROI is quite an ROI for us. To be able to use that and repurpose it in our campaigns. If I'm wrong, please correct me.
No, yeah, we definitely want to give you guys the content so you guys can have it, Lake Leatherwood, Parks and Rec, Nick's CAPC. Yeah.
And I mean, I know this kind of event, the type of people this will attract. Of course, those are people, once they come here for the event, if they like it, they probably will come during the year, and we can't measure that number, so. You might be lowballing on your part, but for you it's hard to measure on the other side. Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Any other questions? Mayor, motion?
I already made the motion.
And I seconded.
She seconded.
David? And Heather? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Sir?
Hey, you know.
Okay. What's next? We now.
Celebrate Jesus weekend.
What's next?
They're being really not helpful.
Celebrate Jesus weekend.
Jesus weekend?
Do we have clarification that? I just want to know the lawyer said it's acceptable.
I actually thought I'd run the narrative off from our attorney. Let me just pass this around real quick. We did get a clarification on this.
Thank you. We can share this.
And before I read it, you can read it with me.
Okay. Thank you.
You can read it with me. This is from Michelle Finley, who is Bill's, one of his associates in the Watkins Law Office. The most popular test used by the Supreme Court to determine if government action violates the First Amendment's established clause is the Lemon test. Government actions must have 1, a secular purpose, 2, not advance or inhibit religion, 3, avoid excessive government entanglement with religion. If the CAPC routinely advertises events for non-religious community events, the CAPC can do the same things for churches as long as it does so neutrally and as long as CAPC provides equal access to other groups. The ad cannot contain any religious endorsements or activities. I would recommend that it solely focus on the secular activities, for instance, Easter bunny, Easter eggs, food, etc. It might be a good idea to clarify that it's an event hosted by an organization such as this. If the event is solely for religious purposes and there's no secular activity, it would be best for the CAPC to sit out of this advertisement. Well, what she's saying basically is, in this case, it's a combination, Sharon, of different religions.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct.
And the
So-
place you're going to meet is based in Spring Park, is that right?
Okay, so I'm Sharon Lawler. I represent the Western Carroll County Ministerial Association. We've been doing this event for about 12 years. We provide 2 days of music in the park. We get music groups from about 6 different states, and it's becoming very popular. We provide the music, and then we also have a parade. We have worked something out with the shop owners. They want to do a Easter egg hunt and have the Easter bunny in. So we're like, yeah, go ahead and do that, and just ask the Easter bunny to go to lunch during the parade. And but we have quite a few different groups now that are looking at being in the parade. And then the events culminate obviously on Easter Sunday with the Easter sunrise service. But it is several of the different local churches. And like I say, we have music groups from 6 different states that come out to perform in the park on Friday and Saturday.
David?
Yeah, so I want to ask you a question, and I'm going to be very,
Certainly.
very blunt about it. A couple of years ago, I know that some churches that were affirming of the LGBTQ community were not allowed to participate in this parade.
Actually, that was not accurate. I had conversations with some of those people, and this is Celebrate Jesus. And we told them if they want to be a part of the parade and carry banners to celebrate Jesus, but just that and not anything outside of that, they certainly were welcome to do that, but they chose to not be involved.
So, number one, I'm one of the people that actually called you about being in that parade last
Okay,
year.
you wouldn't have talked to me.
Whoever it was. And they said,
I'm
no.
the secretary.
They said, no, you cannot. And another thing is, I don't think it's right for you to tell someone that they can be in the parade, just don't be gay or don't be black. You celebrate
we didn't say
Jesus.
That. We said
that you went a roundabout way to
we
say
said
that. Hang on, I've got another
carrying
question.
banners, because the whole topic is Celebrate Jesus. It's Celebrate Jesus. And there's a large portion of the population that's what we do. And we only ask for one weekend a month or a year. Okay, yes, Cheryl.
I just was going to say that I've also had people in the community report the same thing, that they were told that certain area churches and things couldn't participate because they're affiliated with gay people, lesbian people, folks of different lifestyles, that they were no longer welcome to be a part of the parade and things like that. And I personally, as a commissioner, can't support an event that excludes anybody. It's one of the beauties of this town is diversity. It's why I came here. I love it. I love the differences in people. I myself have my own religious feelings. I would love to be supportive, but I can't support if anybody's excluded. It's no longer for everybody, and this town is about free to be.
Well, and like I said, it's not that they were excluded because of where they are in their beliefs. It is called Celebrate
Sure,
Jesus.
but those people that are participating
And
in
if they
churches
celebrate
that celebrate
Jesus, if
or
they
happen
celebrate
to be
Jesus,
gay.
they're welcome. Yes.
Please talk one at a time. Thank you.
Some of these folks do have a relationship with Jesus and indeed would like to be a part of things and not be feeling like they don't fit because they've come to celebrate Jesus but happen to be gay. That is exclusion. That is how people get left out and feel like outsiders, you know. If I come, this is my own personal, I am not a Christian. If I come and want to be a part of your Celebrate Jesus, I would like to feel welcome and included. I don't think that is inclusive of everybody. You can say that that's what it's about, but my understanding, I'm married to a Christian, and my understanding is Jesus did not exclude folks. So if you're going to celebrate Jesus, then Jesus is everybody who wants to celebrate Jesus, not just folks that look a certain way or act a certain way.
Okay.
That's not inclusive.
You want to respond to that, please?
All right. Eureka Springs is free to be. We only ask for one weekend a year that we can be free to be who we are, and that is people who celebrate Jesus and only celebrate Jesus during that parade, okay? I know a couple of years ago, I've only been involved with this for 3 years, but a couple of years ago I had conversation with some ladies that I'm in another group with, and we had that conversation, and their response was, well, yes, but we don't see Jesus the same way you do. And so they weren't wanting to be a part of it because of that. So, and that was fine. That was fine. But the whole weekend is, like I said, it is about celebrating Jesus, only Jesus, and that's what the parade is about. That's what the music is about. There were a lot of people that love that. You know, you had a thing up there that something about cities that are surprisingly spiritual. As far as I know, Eureka Springs is the only town that does something like this. And so if you want to exclude people who want to celebrate Jesus in favor of including people who don't like the way we do that, I would say we're not free to be.
Hold on. Heather?
Ms. Lawler, Ms. Lawler, thank you for coming. Our attorney, clearly, I want to be very objective here. It clearly says ads cannot contain any religious endorsements or activities. And Celebrate Jesus is non-secular. That is religious. You are elevating one faith and belief system above all others. You are getting your weekend and no one is stopping you.
That's right.
But to fund it out of tax dollars from our visitors and tourists and our residents is not equitable. You are getting your weekend and no one is taking that from you. But to advertise something that's elevating one faith above another is not lawful, and that is according to the attorney. And so I would move that we vote no on this one.
Shira?
I was going to say exactly the same thing. I was going to say nobody wants you to miss out on your weekend or your celebration. I think it's wonderful that you feel the way that you feel. And at the same time, what we're going to be voting on here is whether or not we can participate as the commission in supporting those tax dollars going that route. And I don't think that it is something that I can support.
Bradley?
So I was waiting to speak because I have a doctorate in ministry. I have preached for 10 years. The whosoever God of the Bible supports me. The whosoever God of the Bible also had a son who walked this earth who didn't say, you can't be a part of us, you can't be a part of us. In fact, I'm reminded of the woman who was brought in adultery found. And what did Jesus do? He started writing in the sand, and every one of those men started leaving one at a time. One at a time, because he probably wrote their sins there. And what did he ask the woman? Where are your accusers? Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. So the one who could have threw the stone refused to throw the stone because he loved the sinner versus the righteous. He didn't come to call the righteous to repentance. He came to call the sinner. What a good way as a preacher of the past to allow people to participate, even though this is supposed to be, But what a good way to evangelize, to allow others to come and see Jesus through you and through those around this community who spread love. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Anybody else? So I want to remind the commission, we do not vote in the negative, we vote in the positive. So if somebody wants to make a motion to say, I move to give them the money, but if you don't, and we don't have any motion, or if we don't have a second, or if we don't have a quorum, then this application is turned down. Are we clear? Okay. Do I hear a motion to fund this Western Carroll Ministries Association's funding request? Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to find her next? Yeah, I do. I'm going to give you that. Good Shepherd Humane Society. We have someone here from Good Shepherd? Okay, sir. Your name, sir?
I'm Gene Flake.
You want to give us a little brief of what you're doing?
Yes, we're doing something a little different. We have put together a fundraiser for the Humane Society, specifically Fido Fixers, which is the it's the bus serving the rural community with spay, neuter, and vaccination. So we've come up with a fundraiser for that. The Sloans have done us a very good turn and are letting us use the upstairs at the grotto for this. We're going to be doing a dramatic presentation of a play called And Miss Reardon Drinks a Little. And the play is non-political. It's about a family in crisis and three sisters who hate each other, and we get to watch it. We've put together something unique. It's called Dinner and Drama at Upstairs at the Grotto. It'll take place the 27th, 28th, and 29th of March. We are marketing this in several areas. We're marketing it here in Eureka Springs. We're also doing social media in Fayetteville, Bentonville, Rogers. We brought on a media expert, Julia Borkowski, and she is helping us with that. And we're just looking for a little bit of help with the marketing of this.
Okay. Does they have any questions?
Sounds like my family.
Sorry?
Sounds like my family.
I thought the same. About my own.
Shira?
Correct me if I'm wrong, this was brought up briefly at our last meeting, and I believe one of the things that we had discussed was the fact that this will be generating really just revenue at the grotto primarily, that this is likely not to bring in lodging nights. Is that correct?
Well, no, we're marketing that. We have a blog going out starting Saturday and Sunday, which will go through Arkansas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Texas, and talking about this. We anticipate I'm anticipating probably 50 rooms.
Okay.
That we could say, I can tell you 10 already. I mean, at this moment.
Sure.
There's 10 already. But we're anticipating that. We are anticipating that, yes, there will be food and beverage. There'll be quite a bit of money raised for Good Shepherd.
Gotcha.
From this. It's just a unique opportunity that we're taking to do something different. And
It's your first time doing this?
I'm sorry?
Your first time doing this? First?
No, as far as directing a play?
No.
This event.
This
This
event.
particular
the first.
event?
Yes, it'll be the first time.
So I always recommend people that after the first time, collect information, take head counts, figure out how many people were there, where they came from. So if you come back next year and you do this again, you have some really solid numbers to give us. I'm not saying we should turn you down. I'm just saying.
I get that. We feel that This kind of is different. It comes at a really good time of year to do this because it's right in between Mardi Gras and Easter. It's something different. I wish I could give you a whole explanation of the play. We do have cast members here tonight.
Oh, really?
Nate is one of our cast members, and he can tell you how unique this play is. It's if you've ever been to a Thanksgiving dinner where three of the siblings hate each other, and you get to sit back and watch it, that's what the fun is.
Sounds like fun.
But it's also the opportunity to have dinner, have a great night. We're looking probably over $20,000 of revenue that will be generated from this, from the ticket sales, food, beverage. Hopefully, if it's 49 hotel rooms, I'm sorry, but but I think that it's an opportunity to be involved in a unique event in Eureka Springs.
Bradley, do you want to say something?
Oh, did you do a rubric? Did you do a rubric score on this?
There was a rubric.
Yeah.
Specify the maximum number of seats potentially possible.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
That's what I got.
Just what you expect.
So Gene, sorry.
You can have this.
I don't have a sheet on this, but all the money that you guys raise goes back to the Humane Society, correct?
The money from the ticket sales.
Okay, and the rest goes where?
Grotto.
To the grotto?
Yes. They're serving dinner. We're getting $40 a ticket back to, no matter what else. But Good Shepherd is getting $40 a ticket back.
Do they have to have dinner?
There's going to be about 12 seats per night that are not requiring dinner. We're hoping we sell it out and we don't have to worry about that.
Right.
But
What is the potential seating? What is the maximum?
about 210
Okay.
Robert?
over the 3 nights.
Oh, okay.
Over a 3-night period.
Well, I'm always in favor for, Good Shepherd is a good organization on one side, but I questioned this application before. It's for pets. I have a lot of pets myself, no problem. But I don't see the big advertising effect for the city. So I kind of have a little problem to support this event. It's an event for profit. And of course you need the money for your organization, no question about that. But from the point of the CAPC, I think if we support with $2,500, we're overdoing this event because it's really most likely a local support. And there's a few people, of course, they're probably coming from a little bit further away, but the return is kind of like minimal. It's more like really a local thing, and it goes into your organization. So I kind of have a little problem to support that. You have other events I like to support, no problem, but this one seems to me, for me, a little bit too much.
Okay. Any other questions? Comments? Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the, I'm going to say $2,000 instead of the $2,500 for the Mrs. Reardon drinks too much, right? Okay.
And Miss Reardon drinks a little.
Okay. Too much, a little, whatever.
It's too late to ask Mike a question, and the commissioners. I think we've discussed sometimes our primary function and role is advertising and promotion for the city, but our locals do live in this city, town. And as we continue building bridges with the community, supporting Good Shepherd and other nonprofits in our community is not a bad look. And that's not saying that to say we're being performative, but for $2,000 to support something very important in our community doesn't seem like a horrible idea when there's millions of dollars sitting in the bank. And I'd like to also hear from Mike as director what his thoughts on brand awareness versus versus actual measurable ROI that's significant.
It's a little bit of a rabbit hole because we've been looking at this very carefully over the past month. and we'll have a workshop on it coming up next month. The issue that we have is it's very difficult for A&Ps and CVBs to fund fundraisers, because fundraisers may work, they may not. I've been to fundraisers that didn't raise money, and it was a tremendous loss. On the same token, you are correct. Anything that you do that provides funding for an organization to advertise itself in the city lifts the city. And as they say, a rising tide lifts all boats. That can be a big help. And in this particular case, you just have to kind of look at the opportunity to. It's hard to take a dog and make it look like a person, but yeah, you do. You know where I'm going. You know where I'm going. So,
Shira?
I just want to thank you, Heather, for that perspective, because I do think that's really helpful, especially in the wake of our last year, keeping in mind the fact that Good Shepherd holds a special place in all of us as residents, all of our hearts. It's not great English, but it is special to all of us, and I think that holds a lot of value in itself. So I thank you, and I think maybe that helped both Robert and myself have a slightly different take.
I mean, I'm not against it per se. You know, like I said, I have 5 cats and 1 dog, and I could have more. I mean, like my wife is the one who tells me no, not having more. You know, and I understand. You know, I'm not arguing, but you know, we have to kind of compare the other events, and this is, of course, we should maybe have a place in our budget where we can do donations, but maybe this is the way we can do it. So, you know, like.
Any other comments?
No. David made a motion.
David made a motion.
I'll second.
Bradley seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no.
2,000.
Okay.
David made
Motion carries.
2,000.
And
Please show.
Thank you.
for
Oh,
two,
when do tickets go on sale?
Should go live March 1st.
March 1st, okay.
clarification, you got $2,000. You got $2,000 instead of $2,500. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You got that, Daniel? Okay. Our next is somebody.
We do have Spring Fling.
Who?
Spring Fling.
Spring Fling.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, my name's Deb. I'm from the Cat House.
Your name? I'm sorry.
Debbie from the Cat House.
Debbie McCown. Thank you. You want to give us a little brief what you're doing?
What it is it's the Cat House, Ozark Thunder Camp, and Spring Fling Rally. We've got a lot of this is our 9th annual Spring Fling, and what it is they're sending me with information of how we have a lot of influencers and stuff coming in this year. We have like 5 or what is it? About 6 of them. So this year is actually shaping in to be one of our biggest years for Spring Fling Rally. With Cycle Drag, Riding the Ozarks, Quarry West, just different influencers coming in. So it combines the audience ranging from 20,000 to over 1 million followers. And the coverage of the rally doesn't highlight the event. It showcases also the Eureka Springs to massive, engaged audiences driving future tourism and businesses to the town. So they're requesting, Spring Fling Rally themselves is requesting $5,000 to help with it. It'll bring in the lineup light, comes in significant cost. Influence appearance fees can range from $500 to $15,000 per guest. The estimated value of this media exposure is around $45,000. But with your guys' support, we can help offset these costs and ensure Eureka Springs gets the maximum benefit from the rally exposure. And your contribution will go directly towards marketing, promotions, and making this event even a bigger success, tongue-tied, for our town and stuff like that, to help impact and bring more visualization, I guess you would say, and tourists and stuff into town. Because we already bring in 6,000 and 9,000 bikes, but that's just bikes. That doesn't include the tourists coming in, the vendors, the just everything that the whole rally combines. So,
David?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that you guys are aware money can only be spent for advertising, because some of the language in here, offset fees, like speaking
yeah, I
fees.
do apologize. I didn't write this.
Yeah.
That is only for the advertising, completely advertising and all of that to get the information out through advertisement for Spring Fling.
Okay,
All
and my
it's for.
second question is cycle drag. Is this Jeff Gregory and drag doing a show for us?
Unfortunately, I do not know that answer.
What is cycle drag?
It's an influencer. That's all I
I've never heard of
know.
it.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, I thought it was going to
Yeah.
be like a biker drag show. That'd be great.
That's
Heather?
Please correct me if I'm wrong. It's separate. There's a pub crawl with Cat House, like Missy's and several. That's separate from.
Yes, this has
Spring
nothing to do with
Okay.
that. No, Spring Fling Rally, our goal is we're kind of trying to make it going from the Cat House Spring Fling Rally to the Eureka Springs Spring Fling Rally. That is the end game. But the way for us to be able to do that is to help get it more out there. So, and that's what that money would be helping to do, is to promote that.
I've had conversations with Jeff Gregory in passing, and I'm not saying anything that I don't think that he would not laugh at. I would say that in the beginning, my run-ins with Mr. Gregory were probably not exactly productive, and now they are. They're quite productive, and I feel like I've really seen him proactively come into maybe not being so open-minded about things to moving in a different direction, and really being open-minded about how the perception of the bikes are. As somebody who my husband and I ride, I've been able to kind of level with him on that. And so I just want to say that I really do think that they're hyper aware of how the residents feel, how can they alleviate some of the concerns, how can they meet people in the middle. And so that's my perspective. And I have to say, just objectively from a dollar standpoint, it brings in a lot of revenue for the city, for the town.
And
And I will say, being a lodging owner and a restaurant owner, we do extremely well during bike events. They come in, retail doesn't do too good because people come in on their bikes and they can't shop a lot. And I would encourage retail businesses in town to offer shipping to the cyclists so they can come in and pick a piece of art or whatever, have it shipped to them. But as far as restaurant, bar, lodging businesses, it's safe to say that we all do extremely well during the biking events. We may not like the noise, but there's got to be some give and take there.
yeah, this is my first time representing it for it, so I know that I was here through Bikes and Blues, and it fills the hotel rooms, and it just boosts everything up. And that's the big thing that we're wanting to do.
Robert?
Well, I agree with what you said, David. I mean, this is a big event, and especially in the springtime when, season starts, and it's always bringing a lot of people to town. For the people who live here, of course, they're always either way have to stay away, or they have to buy some ear protection. And the only thing I would say, I'm a motorcycle rider myself. I just can't stand people with their straight pipes. It's just awful. And I will say this, and I'm not against this event in no way. And this is a good event for every business. But maybe you could advertise or put somewhere in your advertising that we have noise ordinance in our city. And it would be nice if some people would respect that. I know that's a difficult undertake to put that in advertising because we don't want to sound like we don't like you.
Yeah.
But for the resident people, it would be kind of like a nice gesture to tell them, like, hey, you can come with your bike, but just don't rave it at midnight. There's no need for that.
I'll bring that to their attention.
Anybody else have any comments, questions? Do I hear a motion?
I think just one more comment. I heard in rumor of actually a code of conduct being issued for these events. I don't know whether that's come to fruition, but that is something, to your point, like to say like, hey, we are guests in this town. We know any guest from any group can cause some ruckus. We also understand the bikes are the loudest. But in issuing that, there's an expectation by the organizers to say like, hey, we are trying to make sure that our visitors are respectful of the town and the community.
Okay. Anybody else? Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve $5,000 for the sprinkling rally.
Second.
Art made the motion, David seconded. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say no. Motion carries.
And please tell Jeff I was just kidding. I don't want to see him in drag.
I certainly will.
Right? That'd be a
kind
great
of
fundraiser, though.
A little bit of a post comment. One of the things that came out of one of the last meetings that we had with the organization Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, whatever that organization actually is a kind of a mission statement that I know, Heather, you had a chance to look at and work on. And it really does address a code of conduct along the lines of how to be respectful, amongst, the citizenry, if you will. Obviously, it's a situation that as we look at economics, are we really looking at economics, or are we looking at, just people that like to complain? And I think we have two different things there. As we talk about, our revenues perhaps down, on the same token, these are revenue generators, big time, and we have to kind of offset those two things. But there is a coalition of people that are involved in the motorcycle industry here in Eureka Springs that are very concerned and very conscientious about wanting to go ahead and do something that suggests to the community that we have a mission statement, we want to live to it, we want to be respectful and mindful of the fact that, we're here too.
In all fairness, I've heard cars that are too loud too. So
Oh, yeah.
it's all
Indeed.
noises. All right, next.
All right, thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Deborah.
Chocolate Festival.
Chocolate Festival.
Did you bring samples? No. Denied.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time. Yeah, I'm just here, obviously, with my name is Devin. I'm with the Eureka Springs Chamber of Commerce, and we're hosting the Eureka Springs Chocolate Festival once again. This year it'll be held Mother's Day weekend. It's a long-running festival. It has changed some hands over the years, and the Chamber has it now, and we've had it for probably a decade, maybe a little bit more. We hold it at the Eureka Springs Community Center in their nice, really nicely redone and renovated space in there. And so it's a great venue, very popular, does really well online. Anytime you mention Chocolate Festival, or a chocolate event, people are all about it. This one will be on Mother's Day weekend, and so we're hoping it's going to be, a really well attended. Anybody, I'm open for questions.
Where are the samples?
What's the dates again?
So it's May 10th, Saturday, May 10th.
Devin, are the group history numbers where it says number of total lodging place room nights anticipated 1,000, is that based on this actual number, historical numbers?
No, I am sorry, Heather. That should be 250 and 250.
Okay, I was like, that's really
I'm so
good,
sorry.
really high.
Yes.
That's okay.
People really like chocolate.
I'm sorry, that's completely my fault. I feel that I should be 250 and 250. And so that's kind of one thing that we're really hoping to do. We've never gotten any CAPC marketing support for the Chocolate Festival. And what we're really hoping to do with the support from the CAPC is take that 250 room nights and bump it up to 500. And I say that because what we tend to get is a lot of day trippers that come to the Chocolate Festival. They come from Fayetteville, Bentonville, Rogers. They come for the Chocolate Festival. They get their chocolate and they head out. What the marketing support would allow us to do is extend that reach and to reach a different kind of customer and to get somebody who's going to come to town, they're going to enjoy the Chocolate Festival, but then they're also going to stay in town for hopefully, at least a weekend, maybe a week, So that's the idea there, is that hopefully we can get people to extend that trip.
Any other questions? Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve $5,000 for the Eureka Springs Chocolate Lovers Festival.
Second.
David made the motion, Robert seconded it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Carries.
Thank you all for your
Thank you,
time.
Devin.
Thank you, Devin.
Thank you.
But we still wanted samples someday.
Next,
Run, unicorn, run.
Unicorn Run.
Danielle, I don't have a sheet on this one.
Hi, y'all. How's it going?
What are we looking at here?
So excited.
Where are we
Oh,
going?
I do, Danielle. I'm sorry. I have it. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Am I?
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Nate with Main Street, and this is Lex. And we're here asking for $5,000 for advertising and marketing for a 5K, 10K that's coming up in September. So it's been since before COVID, since there's been a good race in town. And we're excited to have something a little different than what the Eurekan was. This is more of a beta breakers style run, so it's fun and engaging. And we have we believe we'll have about 200 participants, and that would be at least 200 room nights. Generally, runners have an average income of, they have a higher earning income, and it's $75,000 for a single person. And so we think that, or we see that we can definitely garner some higher spending tourists, and also some, folks motivated to come back year after year and participate in this really fun event. So, and I just want to know on how will this how will the profit be used on this event? I just put micro grants for the community, and other ways too. But what that means, micro grants for the community, is we would offer smaller grants for marginalized or community or folks in our groups in our community that may not have a place, space, or resources to gather, and so that people can feel like they can, whatever that may look like, if that's just providing a bit of sustenance, or providing a space, or providing some marketing, some marketing tools and resources, so that folks can be seen and heard and come together. And also what Main Street does with the money and is currently doing, we brought Bob Yap in last year. We're bringing him in again this year, and we're going to be redoing half of this floor. And so Main Street takes our funds and finds places in our community to better to literally better the city. If you've noticed the great new hiking trail signs going by Brews and around town, Main Street had money, had a grant, and called the Parks Department and said, hey, what can we do with this? What do you need? And Sam said, oh my gosh, we've got a great idea. We had just recently, within 10 days of voting, we were able to provide money and get someone in to build the railing from the library stairs all the way up to Crystal Terrace. And I couldn't believe I had not seen anything done so quickly in Eureka Springs. It was amazing. And so those are some, a few of the very small projects that we do. But weekly, like yesterday, we had a yarn meetup. And so folks are in, whether you're learning to knit or crochet, or you are an active crocheter, everyone's welcome, bring your work. And, so we have folks from all levels and ages and all parts of the community come together. And I think that's really a beautiful part of Main Street, is reaching so many different kind of corners of our community. Thank you.
Right. Questions?
1 second, sorry.
Dee Bright, I'm chair of Main Street. I'm kind of watching them because I have another one. But another thing we do, we have the underground tours that brings some of our money in. But this new fundraiser, we're hoping to bring more money in so we can put more back into our town. Because that's really what Main Street's about, is putting back into our town.
Great. Thank you.
This is probably a silly question, but participants are encouraged to dress up, correct?
Highly encouraged to dress up.
That's some social media gold right there.
Yeah, I was excited.
What is the route? Is the route been chosen?
We have the route. Actually, we started in Basin Park, and we're still settling with the city because we're working with Public Works and the police department to make sure that we have a safe route that doesn't interfere too much with the regular daily business of the fall. And so, yeah, Kim Stryker actually and Jackie Wolven in our committee are working on approving a route.
Good.
Unicorns can be really problematic in the middle of the road.
I know.
Don't get too close to the next runner.
Kind of like that rooster.
I know both of these people, and I'm married to a unicorn, so I get it.
Yeah.
You just said that.
So we actually, in doing research, we're working with Heartland Racing Company, so we're hiring a professional racing company to help with the route, and they will be our primary marketing source because they have a large database of runners. And that's really exciting to get folks who may have not been to Eureka and have heard about it to come, and then folks who have been time and time again can come again, to do a race. Races attract local folks too. So we know that we already will have some Bentonville activity in that area, but we really are looking to use this money to get outside of that and find those folks who are coming in for those 4-day 3 to 4 in the night weekends.
All right. Any other questions, comments?
So we don't have a detailed budget, right? Really, like.
You do not have do we have a detailed budget? Oh no, sorry, we do not have a detailed budget.
How the money will be spent,
So sorry. The $5,000 will be spent directly with marketing to pay for Facebook ads, our printing from Ricker Walker, and then any ads that Heartland company will run, like banner ads, and additional space there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Didn't see that.
Yeah. So we're paying Heartland. We're paying a company to actually do the marketing. Heartland Racing Company.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve $5,000 for Run Unicorn Run.
Second.
I don't care.
Heather made the motion, Bradley seconded it. It's kind of a tie. I'll give it to Bradley.
That's all right. I want him to have it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. It is approved.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Nate.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Lex. Next.
Last but certainly not least.
I can be
Eureka
least.
Springs Preservation Society.
Be
Reservation.
Bright with Preservation Society. One of my few, I sit on so many things that, Okay, guys, this will be our 45th. So it's going to be a big one. And I was noticing down here under total nights, I put 800, but we usually bring them in for 2 nights. So I guess that would be 1,600 really, because the parade's the night before with the chamber, and we kind of jointly invite them for the whole weekend.
I gave you credit for 2 nights.
Yeah. You did? Okay.
Yes, I did.
And questions. I mean, we've been, 45 years. I mean, we bring in money. Well, we also are donating to the floor. I mean, we give Main Street some. Right now in the park, I guess it's going to go up. But we've given $21,000 for what we're doing in the park.
We gave 55.
You gave 54.
54.
Yes, let's get this right. Because we're giving 21 to make up that 1,000 to make yours 55.
I think we threw that in out of our pocket.
We're going to move the Doughboy.
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask.
And the flag. And so I'm waiting for Stacy's bid, but I heard roughly another 8,000. So, yeah, we bought the benches and did that. Devin's my treasure. Preservation.
So many
He
hats.
sits on a
So many
lot of
hats in
things,
town,
too.
I swear.
We're giving Main Street $5,000 for Bob. Bob Yap cost us $12,500. I'm chair and treasurer over there on Main Street.
David?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really have any questions for you, Dee, but I want to echo on what Heather said earlier. A lot of times, unfortunately, we don't get a lot of local things for the residents here in the city, and this is one of the things that a lot of residents go to. They get a lot of out-of-towners that come in for it, and I think it's really, really good and important that we continue to foster the relationships with these local organizations like we've done tonight. I'm very proud that a lot of these things are local and mainly for residents, even though we're here for tourism. We please the residents, they call their family, come visit, so I'm glad to see it.
True. And another thing, transit, they give us $4 per ride. So we pay that. I know last year, not 25, 24, you guys picked it up for the first time ever, but Mike and I've discussed that. Maybe it shouldn't have been. I don't know. Anyway, we also, how many tickets we sell, we pay that to transit. So that's more money back. Preservation just gives all of our money back to town. That's the bottom line.
I just want to say thanks for getting this in so early.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yep.
That's great.
That helps with your budgetary concerns.
Yes.
I would suggest people do that, but we may run out of money at some point.
You got 20,000
We're here
left.
a whole month early than last year. I was looking at my paper from last year, and I'm like, oh, I'm a month early. But any other questions? I mean,
Well, the net tax, based upon 2 nights of rooms, is about $7,000 in net return. So it does a really good job.
and they eat here, and they shop here.
You know, the gross is about $235,000 gross. So it's quite a bit.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the $5,000 for the 2025, where is this?
Homes tour.
Homes tour.
I'll
Tour of
second
homes.
that motion unless Bradley wants to do it.
We're taking turns. Yes. Did you have something else you want to add?
Oh, I just was going to comment and say that I think, our historic presence in itself is an advertisement for this town.
Absolutely.
It's one of the things that is often in the forefront of what folks mention in articles and other things. And so that's advertisement without having to necessarily have dollars behind it. It's one of the charms that we have here. Thank you, Dee.
Thanks.
All right. I hear a motion. We got
We did that.
motion, David, and Shira seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
Thank you,
Motion carried.
guys.
Thank you, Dee.
And I think Steve can vouch for me. I'm very into his, because I sit on the HDC too. I mean,
She's chair of the
thanks
HCC.
for Main Street, guys. I think it's going to be a great event.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dee.
I always love to go in.
Exciting.
Okay. Funding requests done. Chair, B was chair term limits. I know HDC and Parks has a limit on how many years a chair could be chair. If you look under our bylaws section on page 1, number 5, I'd just like to add a sentence under 5, at the end of 5, saying the chair may only serve for 2 consecutive years at a time. And, sorry. You don't have it anymore? You got rid of it?
Never have.
Oh, really? I like it because I think it's good. It keeps someone from parking themselves as chair and keeping chair forever. And I like to put it in the bylaws.
Do you have a suggestion?
That's a one sentence. The chairman may only serve for 2 consecutive years at a time.
Okay.
Just add it to number 5. And we might check to make sure that the municipal league thinks that's a good idea. Because Dita said they did away with it on HDC. Just find out why they did away with it, but I like to put it in there. I know Parks has it. I think it just, I believe in term limits from the president all the way down to city commissions, and especially for chair. It doesn't mean a person can't be chair more than 2 years. It just can't be chair for more than 2 years in a row. Then you take a break and come back in a couple of years if you want to be chair again. Do I hear a motion?
I will make a motion to add to Section 5 of the CAPC bylaws to include a sentence, the chair may not preside more than 2 consecutive terms.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 I did my minutes. David made the motion, Brad seconded. Okay. So we need to read it one more time into the bylaws? Is that how we do it? Okay. It's not a resolution. It's not? Okay, so it's good? We're good? Okay, great. Shuttles?
Yes, so the concert. I caught on social media, I'm going to pull it up, a comment. I wish you would offer the shuttle for all concerts at the auditorium. I would pay to be shuttled to the venue. It's so hard to find a place to park. I was wondering, how much were the shuttles? And besides this one person that I pulled off of social media, did it get good reception? And is that something that we could think about for some of the concerts in the future?
We have had the discussion in department head about being able to go ahead and provide that service because obviously we want people to park at Plainer Hill. We'd like for them to be able to go ahead and, step out of the auditorium on the brand new step that you have seen and not fall in the street and then go into, the bus and go back up to the top of the hill. Transportation is good with that. So we're going to make that work.
So one of our pillars for this year is pushing forward the awareness of our transit system here in Eureka. So this was one of our efforts to consistently have this service provided to our concert attendees.
Thank you. That's awesome. If there's any way that there could be any kind of social media included when we announce concerts or comment on that, that's so great. I just thought that was kind of that was one little tiny use case, but it seemed like really positive. And you had mentioned Plainer Hill and better utilization and maybe the trolley system helping to alleviate some of the pain points of parking. It constantly comes up, so thank you.
I think as we probably go ahead and continue to, advertise the concerts online, we'll go ahead and put that within, the concert bio and the concert information. Please check with us about, trolleys. And the other thing we are going to take a look at, I think, based upon budget, is the opportunity to probably bring in one of our outstanding photog drone videographers and maybe do a really cool urban type transit trolley video.
That would be cool.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions, comments about that? All right. So moving on. The next month's workshop will be March 12th at 6 p.m. And do we have a topic? Did someone
Market support funds.
Market support funds.
I got a quick question on that. So that, the House bill was passed at 1445. Is that something we have to have a discussion about it? I mean, I know it's a done deal. We can't.
It's not a done deal.
It's not, I was going to say, it has not passed the Senate yet.
Not
No.
yet. Just in the
But,
It only made it through committee, that's all.
okay,
It's still got to go to the full, and it's got to go to Senate, then it has to go to the full House, and right now it's finding some obstacles. But, we don't know right now, but we're watching it all the time.
I mean, I've seen it before on social media, of course, also, and it seemed like the tendency is to approve it, but I don't know where are we on that. Is that really going that way? I mean, it's taking away the rights of a city to regulate their rentals.
Yeah, Robert, I'll chime in here because I spent weeks last time in Little Rock this came up, and you're right, it does take away all cities, what they can do and what they cannot do when it comes to a short-term rental. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the way that this was originally presented as a bill, we couldn't even charge them for a business license or require a safety inspection or fire inspection. We couldn't do any of that. There's some language that has changed, and I assume that if this does pass, that City Council will work diligently to find some sort of way around it or a loophole or something, because it would absolutely devastate this city when we can't control short.
I mean, this bill opens the door to the problem we are suffering right now.
Yes.
I mean, the negligence from the city in the past, the city council not having moratoriums or actually have laws which prevented all the Wild West what we have in the rental situation. And if something like that really would come in effect, we're almost declaring bankruptcy for that part of the deal. And I think it's a horrible idea to have that kind of regulation,
Yeah. Most of the city agrees with you.
I just wanted to add that, talking about revenues from lodging and things like that, that this would be a real detriment in so many ways, but especially in seeing our numbers only go down further and further. And I wanted to let the community know, and anybody who's watching this or listening, that this has to do with our state legislators, and that you can find online a list of phone numbers and access to reach out to all of your state senators. If you have thoughts and comments, you can certainly call. They're very welcoming. If you're kind, you can write letters and things and let them know your stance, because I'm afraid that this could have some devastating effects. It's nice to know your neighbors, and if everything can be bought by somebody from out of town and turned into short-term lodging, we lose some of our ability to be residents and have creatives and shops and things. I think it would be devastating on a lot of levels economically, and I think that's a miss. And so you do have a right to stand up and reach out to your senators and let them know your concerns.
Yeah, and Mike mentioned this earlier, that Airbnb is more than likely behind this, bill. And I know it was 2 years ago because we tracked the money back, and it was definitely Airbnb.
It is.
Okay, any other comments? All right, next meeting will be March 26th, Wednesday at 6 p.m. Here in the Odd.
We do have a workshop on the 12th.
Workshops on the 12th, 6 p.m.
Okay, and the
Market
26th.
support funds.
And then the 26th, this is a regular meeting at 6 as well?
Is that spring break week?
We have a workshop on the 12th, a meeting on the 26th.
I can tell you that in a second here. The spring break week is...
That's a toughie. Spring break's kind of
I'm
very...
just letting y'all know.
No, come
I
on.
think that's spring break
I have
week
it here.
for our schools.
March 8th through the 15th is Missouri. Arkansas is March 15th through the
Yeah.
22nd,
Read those
and
standard.
22nd through the 29th.
Our area is 22nd to the 29th. So I'm just letting y'all know, just giving y'all a heads up.
Okay. Do what?
I'll be out of town the 27th through April 3rd, so
You'll be,
I can Zoom. I'll be out of town. Otherwise, I can Zoom in if we change the dates.
26 is good with me.
What?
So the 26 is fine with me.
Okay. All right, moving on to commissioners' comments. We'll start over here with Robert.
Okay.
I need a spotlight.
No problem. Well, good to be back. I know I was only virtually here, but I tried not to miss anything as much as possible. We're just considering like a week ago, you were in an Arctic spell, and everything is pretty much gone. There's here and there just a little pile of snow left. Good thing that it's gone, and I hope it's not coming back for the rest of the spring, and of course, and for the rest of the year till maybe December. I don't care. Anyway, I think we're looking into a good year. I'm very optimistic. I've seen a lot of good things going on, and I just hope it's going to happen. That's all I have to say right now.
Shira?
I want to thank you all for coming out today, all the folks who came out to do their presentations for funding and to listen and to take part, and all of my fellow commissioners for being here and making me laugh and and enjoy this. And I'm glad to see you again, Robert. And thank you for letting us be a part of the GovCon experience. I was able to take part in that, and it was a really, really cool opportunity to take a look into outdoors in Arkansas tourism. So that was a lot of fun. That's about all I have. Thank you.
David?
You didn't go in order.
We're just skips.
I can shuffle this if I want.
I'm going to have to agree with Shira.
I have the power to do it.
Right.
He gets 2 years consecutively, and then after that.
Yeah.
Y'all get ready.
I kind of want to reflect back on what Shira said about our colleagues around the table, making us laugh and, having conversations and laughter with the general public that want to come in and ask for funds. It's so refreshing to actually sit here in this meeting and laugh for a change and have a good time with friends and still get business done. So thanks to every single one of you guys for doing that. It's amazing. Also, went through surgery in January. I wouldn't recommend the surgery for anyone, but I want to thank everybody that dropped food off and didn't have to have Ethan cook. That was nice because I don't cook. I can't. So thank you.
Great. Heather?
Thank you for your grace with my mishap being secretary for the first time. Robert, it's good to see you back in person. Welcome back. Thank you again to all the commissioners here at the table. I also did not get to go to all of GovCon, but I attended the ceremony last night, and you are still winners to us. We don't need an eclipse to know that we're so great, and our staff is the best. But it was a really lovely night. There were other Eureka residents there. Jack Moyer won Tourism Person of the Year. So that was really cool to see. Mr. William Ott was also there in presence. He's been to every single GovCon ever. So it was just a really great night to see a lot of Eureka Springs represented at GovCon. I was surprised to see the faces. And I also wanted to say, March, at the risk of sounding kitschy, as I think about this commission, as I think about June of last year, as I think about naysayers, as I think about the fact that there's less than a $4,000 delta right now until collections come in, March 9th, we set the clocks forward and the light comes back. And I think that's very representative of Eureka Springs, the light's coming back.
Okay, great. Last but not least, Bradley.
Okay, I get to put the hampering on everybody. I requested to speak last because, well, Chair Steve Holyfield, staff, commission, it's with profound sense of gratitude and honor that I closed out the comments today resigning as a commissioner. I know that's going to make you like, what? It's a position that I've held with great humility, honor, and dedication. Serving on the CAPC has been an extraordinary privilege for me, and I've approached my responsibilities with a deep sense of duty and commitment, upholding my oath and serving as an example to others, and collaborating with each of you, engaging in various decisions. I feel we have engaged on the improvement of tourism and attraction for our great city, and it has both enriched and enlightened myself and all of those I feel like in our city. Together as a commission, I feel we have embarked on a mission to create paramount initiatives with active solution-oriented outcomes, and I believe Eureka Springs is becoming a better city and more known now than ever. The opportunity to contribute to a democratic process among all of us by ensuring fair representation for the people of Eureka Springs has been a source of immense pride for myself, and I believe our collective efforts have laid a foundation for a bright future yet to come, and I'm grateful for the trust that was placed in me. My decision to resign is personal and not made lightly. In part, I also am resigning in support of stopping the bullying, the intimidation, the hostile work environment created in our hospital, which still has not been addressed. I also believe it is important to rebuke those who support those who implement such instigation or initiate unsafe work practices. I also do not support those who lay in silence because silence authorizes behaviors which are unethical and inappropriate if those behaviors present themselves. This resignation also comes because I do not condone the violations of oath by some of my fellow commissioners serving on other commissions, as well as the continual false statements and lies presented by individuals who know better. I cannot support that type of behavior, especially by city officials who took the same oath. After months of advocating and fighting for our hospital, I have decided to pursue other opportunities where I can serve and utilize my education and skills to better improve the world. I have decided to make a permanent career move, which was difficult to make, as I, in fact, will leave the protective bubble and embrace of friends and family in a welcoming, free-to-be community. Now, my husband is here tonight, and no, we are not leaving the community, but the job that I will embark on will require a lot of travel and other things as well. But it is a pleasure to be in a community where we can be free to be. And I leave my position with a heavy heart, but I know that this commission is in the hands of unlimited knowledge and excellent experience. The commission is comprised of dedicated individuals who will continue the vital work we built and fought for the last year by choosing the best possible outcomes to promote and advertise all the wonderful things our city has to offer. In a bidding farewell, I reflect on the countless moments of collaboration, as David said, laughter, even arguments, shared commitment to that democratic process, and countless residents who have shown up to share their voice with us. I will also miss working with each of you, as well as I've had the pleasure of working alongside you. The memories will forever hold a cherished place in my heart, and I'm proud to call you not just fellow commissioners on this commission, but friends and family that I hold in the highest respect and regard, as I believe we have set a high standard of how a commission strives to do what is right. I also give my sincere thanks and appreciation to the staff as well, and their wonderful example of how a hardworking office works together to accomplish so much. You are family. As I embark on this new chapter of my life, I'm reminded of Winston Churchill, who said, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts," and I urge you all to continue. So I want to thank you once again for the opportunity to serve the city of Eureka Springs, and I will remain ever committed to the principles of fairness and justice, and I'm confident that the CAPC will continue to uphold these values and ideals in many meetings to come. Thank you.
Sarah?
I'd just like to say, had I known that, I would have let you second in lieu of my seconding.
We're not changing it. So. All right. Well, it's very sad to hear Bradley's leaving, and I wish him luck in his future endeavors. And it's been a pleasure serving on this commission with you, and hope to see you around. Thanks. Welcome back, Robert. He's been away for quite a while, and now he's back in person instead of
Not on
in
a
that little
toilet?
box
Not on the...
in his bathroom talking to us.
It's a perfectly fine place.
I have my tickets for the Ricky Skaggs concert. I'm looking forward to it very much. I will be out of the state March 13th to 23rd, so I'll be here for the workshop and the meeting next month. The state legislative joint audit committee came down with their results, and city council got them, and the city's doing really well, and that includes the CAPC. So the sky's not falling, nothing terrible is happening, and this is a validation. The city and all the city commissions are doing what they're supposed to be doing, because this is where the state, goes in and looks at all that stuff and says, this is what should be happening for last year. It's not addressing stuff immediately for this last year. With that said, thanks everybody for volunteering. We all appreciate it. And I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Bradley made the motion. David seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 We are adjourned.